Yo, what up everybody, it's Steel Stewart. I am back doing my Metagore Mondays. I took about 4 months off and now I'm back. I got a few more ideas to do. I might take another break and kind of come up with some more ideas. I don't know, but I'm back doing them for a little bit, as well as my Do You Hate Me Yet series that I did for the month of February. Y'all actually seem to like it. I was kind of shocked. I was expecting more backlash on some of the topics, at least from a couple of people or something, but it was mostly positive. So I was kind of shocked, and y'all seem to enjoy it, so I figured, why not continue it? So for the month of March, I will be doing the same thing again, releasing 2 videos a week, one on Monday, one on Thursday, all of them being part of the Do You Hate Me series, just like today's video. So this video is going to be a Metagore Monday as well as a Do You Hate Me Yet video. For March, there will actually be 9, so it's going to be an extra video than what it was last month, just because how the days fall and stuff. So today, I am talking about how I wrote Foreshadowing into the Battle for Metagore. I don't recommend this at all to anybody. It's just what worked for me, so I did it. If you try it and it works for you, congratulations. If not, I don't recommend it. But how I did it, I just wrote what I wanted to write, in a sense, without knowing what it was. I outlined them very heavily. If you know me or know my process, my outlines can be thousands upon thousands of words. I know I outlined my memoir a while back, and it was like 13 to 14,000 words. So my outlines are pretty thick, so I know a lot of stuff. But as I'm writing, things just kind of come to me. I'm like, yeah, that seems cool. I'm going to go with it. I don't know what the outcome is going to be, or exactly how it's going to tie in. But I thought it was cool, and so I went with it. Originally, I wasn't going to touch on Brian's death hardly at all. It was going to be mentioned that he died, and that was it. He was going to be single. His wife was going to have been dead way before the story started, and he's going to die, and the story had nothing to do with him. Then I got the idea to add in Kalama. And then my wife told me that I should do something about his death, and now that is actually streaming through all 4 stories. But at that point, I had no idea exactly what I was going to do about it or anything. I just was like, you know what, it'd be cool that, if he, died because of this, and then I wrote that into the story. And then I changed my mind. I was like, no, it'd be cool like if it was actually this. So then I just added that into the story. And then I was like, no, this would be cool. And then I wrote that in the story, and it kept changing. But the way that it is told, you're just kind of learning this information as I kind of wrote it. And it's not like definitive, like this is what happened. Like you don't see what happened, so you're still kind of like, is that what happened? Because that was kind of my thought process as I was coming up with it. As of right now, I just finished the 2nd book, the first draft of it, and sent it to my office for that. I do know what it's going to be, and I doubt it's going to change any. I've already kind of got the 3rd book outlined, and then the 4th book outlined in my mind, I guess, for it. So that's not going to change anymore, but there was a lot of other instances in the book. One was with Azrael writing a letter and giving it to Solaris. I had no idea what that letter was going to be. It wasn't until a particular chapter later on that I was like, oh, this is where that letter is going to come back in. I didn't know. I just thought, that fit Azrael's character perfectly. He's kind of, playing both sides of a lot of things. It's just kind of his personality. It's kind of shady. Writing a letter that, he enchants so only one other person can see it. Just seems like something he would do. I had no idea what the content of that letter was when I wrote that chapter. I had no idea of what the outcome would be or what role it would play. I just thought that sounded cool, so that's what I did. And then I thought of something later on as I was writing, like, oh, I can tie that in here. There's another scene later on that a particular vial got found in a particular place. I just thought that was kind of cool, and then I didn't really know until later on exactly how I was going to tie that in. And there was a few other instances that I was just like, you know what, it'd be cool about this, and I'm just going to write that in, or whatever. You know, I didn't have any definitive idea later on. I like the guessing game. I'm a heavy plotter, but I guess with stuff like that, I like painting it because I want it to be just kind of subtle stuff and a mystery to the reader. So I'm like, it should be subtle and a mystery to me as well. Also, when I'm trying to come up with content for chapters, if I know I'm about to write a chapter and it's supposed to have a certain piece of information in some dialogue or something, but it's not going to be that long of a chapter to write just that, so I'm trying to think of other content. I start reading back through some of the other chapters I've already written for those characters and stuff, and just find like pieces of conversation or narrative that had been, you know, written before that might hint at something that I had no, you know, intentions on hitting at it. It's just, you know, it did. So I'm like, oh, I could play off of that in here, and then I write it then. So a lot of my foreshadowing in the first book had nothing to do with anything. Whenever I actually wrote it, it was just something that's like, yeah, this seems shady, I'm gonna make them do it, or whatever. I'll figure out what it means later. Type of mentality. Like I said, I don't recommend it to anybody, but that's my process. And I know I've done that in the second book as well. I was like, I'm gonna do this. Nope. One character I wanted to give a background to, or whatever, like a backstory, and I didn't really know what to do for them at first. I was like, I just want them to have more of a role than what they played in the first book. So I just started hinting at just different things. And then as I kind of kept writing that and kind of giving a little bit more information about it, that's how it all kind of tied in. It's like, oh, this is exactly what happened. So yeah, when I do foreshadowing, it is just kind of right there. Now that I know a lot of that stuff, I can continue to build on it as I go forward. But like I said, I've done some more just random stuff or whatever in book 2. And I'm sure while I'm writing book 3, more random stuff's gonna pop up. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, that sounds cool, I'm gonna do it. With no real purpose or, you know, direction in going with it. Even though I know the direction of the story, I have all the chapters outlined. They are, you know, subject to being changed a little bit, and I find that just as much fun as anything else, I guess. I feel like that's kind of like world building as I'm writing and discovering the world, even though I'm not a discovery writer, really. So, yeah. That is my process. Do you hate me yet?